The trial of 5 men from a neo-Nazi group suspected of planning terrorist attacks against targets, including mosques, has got underway here in Paris. The 5, at the time of their arrest in 2018, were aged between 14 to 23. The hearing has been closed to the public. Joining me now is France 24's Clovis Casali. Clovis, tell us more about the people who've been charged.
Interesting profile, very young Frenchman, and their leader is called Alexandre Gillet. He's a former French soldier, and they all share a passion, a fascination for fascism, for National Socialism, for Nazi ideology. They met on a social platform of instant messaging called Discord. They discussed their Nazi fascination. The forum was called Waffenkraft, which in German means weapon power. So they talked about Hitler. They talked also about their manifesto. They actually came up with a manifesto where they exposed their plans, their ideology. And when the police actually searched the home of that leader I was just mentioning, Alexandre Gillet, back in 2018, that's when he was arrested, they searched through his computer, and then they realized that there was a terrorist plot behind all of this. And that's why he's now in front of a cour d'assises, which is a very high court here in France, used usually to judge terrorists, potential suspected terrorists, of course.
And what exactly was their plan?
Their plan was very simple: kill as much people as possible. What's interesting here is that this group, led by Alexandre Gillet, inspired themselves from their enemies, from those they despise, that is Daesh, Al-Qaeda. They wanted to do exactly what Al-Qaeda, Daesh, the so-called Islamic State, what they committed in Paris with the November attacks back in 2015. They wanted to do exactly the same thing. They wanted to kill as many people, except they were going to be targeting Muslims, possibly Jews, possibly left-wing leaders such as Jean-Luc Mélenchon. Also worth mentioning, Alexandre Gillet said that one of his idols was Anders Breivik, who, of course, in Norway murdered 77 people back in 2011. He also said how great the killing of 51 people outside 2 mosques in a Christian church in New Zealand was. So basically a very disturbed mind. And when police forces searched the flat of Alexandre Gillet, well, they found rifles, chemicals to be used to make bombs and explosives. And also, they didn't just talk on Discord, these young men, aged between 14 and 23 at the time. They also met up to train at shooting in a forest. So these young men suspected of a terrorist plot, and they're appearing in front of a cour d'assises here in France.
Clovis Casali, thank you for that update.